and achieving more. Telling it just like it is. Most of all, keeping it real. Are you ready for real talk? Changing lives and communities. Real talk. Saving all our families. Real talk. Bringing hope for you and me. Real talk. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio.
Well, greetings and salutation. Welcome to the Real Talk with Judy live radio show. I am Dr. Judy, your radio host, and I want to thank you again for joining me for another hour of Real Talk. Thank you for joining, whether you're joining via radio, Facebook Live, YouTube, or and the radio app. I want to thank you for joining me on the Real Talk with Judy live radio show. Listen. Please do me a favor as I do my introduction. Go ahead and call, text, email, whatever you have to do. Share on Facebook. If you're on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, I think that you can share. Go ahead and get people on here. Today's show, I have another brilliant older woman, full of knowledge. Another older woman that I admire to the utmost, full of wisdom, understanding. And as I stated, for the month of March, I was bringing on women 80 and older, 79 and older, because I believe that they have something to say. And we're living in a time now that we need the wisdom of the older women. We really do. Women are the bedrock of our community, I believe. They help us, and I've brought some women forth from the Tallahassee community. And I got a lot more all over this world, but from the Tallahassee community that I've been privileged to sit at their feet, sit in rooms and at tables as they talk to us. So go ahead and get people in. Today, I got a treat. You get to see them, so it's not like they're going to come walking, she's going to come walking out on the stage. But y'all go ahead and get your people in so they can hear. I want to say, y'all already know, and I'm excited about doing these shows because I used to sit at the feet of my mom. My mom was 80, 82, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I would sit at her, well, she didn't make it. How old am I? Yeah, she did make it 86. I didn't, and I was honored to sit at my mom's feet, my great-grandmother and my grandmother. And they talked to me. They talked to all of us. And so, and my dad, I spent a lot of time with my dad. And they were all older, but I paid attention. And now I get to share all of this wisdom with everybody else. But I'm still growing myself and still accomplishing things. So I wanted these women to come on and talk to us. And pour into us. I'm getting calls from people all over how they are enjoying these shows. And so y'all go ahead and get them on here. My mom and dad, the reason why I get to do this, because I believe in what they said. My sisters, my brothers, my mom and dad, grandchildren, we all are their legacy. And each one of us doing something good. And so because of all of that, that's why I have these older women on. And to my amazing husband, who allowed me and support me. When I say allow, I don't get any flack from him. He supports everything that I do. And I just want to thank him so very much. Matter of fact, I thank him so, y'all listen, I am so excited for my husband. I am so excited. Tomorrow, he will graduate from Grand Canyon University with a master's in Christian leadership. Oh, I'm excited. I am so excited. He has worked hard. And as you all know, I graduated with my master's in organizational leadership in January from Grand Canyon. And both of us are going to march. I march. I already got my diploma and everything, but I march April 28th, and he marched May 1st. So we would be in Arizona that first week getting these degrees, and we did it together. We did it absolutely together. And most everything we do together. So congratulations, sweetheart. I'm so proud of you, and all that good stuff. Then to Priscilla John Lewin, she's our marketing director who let me get these flyers and everything out. I want to thank her. Uh, Carolyn, the producer, she's doing her thing, but she'll be back. She'll be back there working this together, maybe having some more. So I am only as great and big as the team. So the one team that I must thank, and that is you, the audience. I want to go ahead and say hello to Dr. Evans' children. I know they listening. So I want to go ahead and tell them hello. Thank y'all for allowing me to have y'all mom and her dog here with me here in this studio. But we're glad to have her here. I am so excited. This is Dr. Connie Evans. This is Dr. Connie Evans. She is the wife of our late former president of the NAACP. I think it was for 14 years. He was the president of the NAA, the local NAACP, but they did so much. We're going to get so much wisdom from Dr. Evans today. Dr. Evans, she's a legend in this city. Her voice is one of reason, has to be heard. So many people have sat at her feet. I happened to be there when they named that park in honor of Dr. Charles Evans, and she has some beautiful children. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring to you the one and only, and I love when we're in NAACP meetings, y'all, she say, Mr. President, just let me say. And she bring out some of the best wisdom and thoughts that we will have. So ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you the one and only Dr. Connie Evans. Welcome to the Real Talk with Judy show.
Thank you so very much for having me. It's an honor and a pleasure always to talk about and with people from Tallahassee, always.
Yes, ma'am. And we're going to get some good wisdom from Dr. Evans. So I really tell you, go ahead and get your pen and paper, because y'all know we don't know our history. We're going to repeat it. If we don't know our history, we don't know where we come from, we don't know where we're going to. And some people don't like history, and we keep making the same mistakes, keep doing the same thing. But she's going to help us today learn some stuff. And so so Dr. Evans, as I get ready to get started, tell the people a little bit about who you are.
Oh, be happy to. As Dr. Judy said, I am Connie Evans, and from originally Durham, North Carolina. And my husband, Charles Evans, the one she's talking about, was my first boyfriend in high school. So we've been together, at least 50 some years before his passing. I'm the mother of 4 beautiful children who were educated in the school system here. In fact, I could probably claim at least 4 different schools in Leon County, which is unreal because most people had 2 kids. We had 4. The saga of that is that my husband's from a big family, 6 boys and 1 girl.
Whoa.
And he wanted a large family. That's probably why we have kids around us all the time. And I said that I would have 6 kids. I agreed to that. At 4, I broke down and decided, no more. But the reason, I guess we ended up in Tallahassee is because my husband was working at North Carolina A&T. We've usually been on the college scene. And Dr. Sybil Mobley recognized his skills in the computer. He was a computer whiz. and double our salary. Therefore, we left North Carolina A&T and came to Tallahassee, which I thought would be for 2 years. But that was in 1982, and we've been here ever since.
Wow.
Yep. Um, and as I said before, my kids being educated in the school system, seems like I've always been in the community. My son graduated from Rutgers High School. I have a daughter that graduated from FAMU High. I have two that graduated from Leon, and believe it or not, I was like the homeroom mother at each of those schools.
I believe it.
I was very involved. My husband was the president of NAACP. He also taught at FAMU and the School of Business and Industry, computers and information system. Plus, he was the main caregiver for the kids because I worked for the Florida Department of Education, and I basically flew to work in South Florida because I had the South Florida region, the Miami, Fort Lauderdale, your Key West. I had all those big regions. So he had the duty of getting kids to school and from kids and all that, because I may be on a plane at 6 o'clock in the morning and not get back to either the next day or what have you, if they have a school board meeting. But at any rate, we worked it. And people say to me now, how did you manage with 4 kids? Because I had 4 kids. Oh, and I had a degree with each kid. My bachelor's was one, my master's was one, and my doctorate was the other one.
Wow.
And thank goodness they didn't have another degree, or I probably would have had to have a 5th kid. But at any rate, I never had time off. I was always a teacher, and I had to be ready to go to school back in August then. So it really came in handy that my husband was a mathematician and we could plan birth control, because I had to be back in the classroom. I did not have a vacation.
So y'all playing the birth control.
So when the young ladies say today, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that because I got a kid, I'm thinking, gee whiz, I was a mother, I traveled, did meals and all that, and I know you want to know how was I able to do all that. Well, I'm a home economist by trade.
Okay.
Careful planning. On the refrigerator, we had schedules because we had to know where everyone was. Nowadays, you can text. We had the chalkboards.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what we used. So we had to know where everybody was, who had to pick up whom, and that kind of thing. And it worked.
Dr. Evans, you just made a very important point. You said that with careful planning. And I know even with you talking in a lot of our meetings, different things, or even talking with you on the phone, you're always talking about planning. Would you just take, even before we dive way into this, would you just take a minute and talk about how important it is to plan instead of just doing things off the top of our head, even though sometimes that might have to happen, but will you talk about that for a moment?
Oh, would love to. Our Evans basic philosophy is that you plan at least a year ahead, 5 if you can. That means you got to have a calendar. And you have that calendar, and you start your calendar for the next year in November. You know what times your schools are out. You plan that, plug that into the calendar. And because I was on a state schedule, my kids were on sometimes 2 different schedules, and my husband was on a university schedule. Then you have the business schedule. So how can you manage all that? You have to put all your important dates. Plus, we love to travel.
Mm-hmm.
You need to put that down so that everybody can see it and agree on it and follow that.
So that you all meet and have a discussion about these dates, or did you and Dr. Evans, y'all just made it and the children had to follow until they got a certain age, or how did, because I met your children. I met your children, and I know
Karita.
Karita,
Mhm.
and I met your other ones that was doing the part time, but they all seem so well, man. Even your grandchildren, and so how did the plan fall in place so well?
Well, because I am a home economist, that means I plan meals. I do all of that. Shopping, everything that has to do with being is what I do.
Okay,
Uh, in the morning, my kids would get up and look at the calendar.
okay,
They didn't have to worry about what they were going to do. It was written down. They could see it. And they could also see what everybody else was doing.
okay.
And that was awfully important for my husband and I, because sometimes we were in different cities doing different things. But if you looked at the calendar, you knew. And that's how we train them. First thing, you hop up in the morning, see what it is you're supposed to do. And that's how it works.
Wow.
You can't do anything without plan. You have to have a plan.
You're absolutely correct, Dr. Evan, because I know I was one of those unorganized people until I got all this stuff to do. And I have to live by calendar. I have to. Either I'm not going to be somewhere or I won't have something done or something. But you are absolutely correct. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I am joined on my show by Dr. Connie Evans, who's the matriarch of Tallahassee civil rights history. Her husband was Dr. Charles Evans. He moved mountains as the president of the NAACP for 14 years. But while he held the gravel, she held the spirit of everything and just listened to it. And she got a whole lot of stuff too. So Dr. Evans, Martin Luther King once said, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stood in moments of comfort, but where he stood at times of challenge. You stood right there with Dr. Evans. So as the wife of a president who moved mountains, and I know you just talked about the calendar, but how did you manage the weight of that public life while maintaining your own career and spirit?
Well, one of the things, Dr. Judy, is that I grew up in a different time span, or you may say generation. We dated from high school to college, then we got married. My senior year in college, and my senior year in college, and his first naval appointment. He was a Navy pilot, so I was back at North Carolina A&T. He was down in Pensacola flying, and we've always had a basic togetherness.
Okay.
In fact, everything we experienced together, first time, a lot of things. So we were really good friends.
Okay.
But now back to your question. We've always, as I was saying, I grew up in a different time wherein women were expected to follow their husbands.
Okay.
And that meant that the husband was the head of the household and all that kind of stuff. We didn't fit that mold. Also, the wife does the cooking or whatever in our household. Whoever could do it best is the one that did it. And well, he learned how to cook because I taught him. He could sew because I taught him. The same thing with my kids. It was like, community thing.
Okay.
If something needed to be done, you jump in. Plus, being a college professor, he had a lot more time than I did.
Yes, ma'am.
Because he may teach Tuesday, Thursday, which meant he had Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to do other things. So we adjusted according to that schedule. I could say I cheated him quite a bit because he took after his mother. His mother was very nurturing. She would cook special meals for different ones, different cakes for different ones, things like that. And he picked that up.
Okay.
He had those kind of skills that she had to accommodate people.
Okay.
So it was easy for me. I just followed the plan, I can tell you I really miss things like my coffee in bed because being a farm person, they'd be up 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning. Being a city girl, we get up in time for 7 o'clock. We catch the bus.
Yes, ma'am.
We'd have cereal or pastry in the bus.
Yes, ma'am.
But my husband was accustomed to a full meal. So he would get up in the morning with each of my kids, and he would fix a full breakfast, eggs, all of that bacon.
Ooh.
And they ate well while I slept. I preferred sleep.
Yes, ma'am.
So they're used to the mingling of the families.
Wow. You know what? This is some good information because sometimes people look at you, Dr. Evans, or people who have achieved like you and Dr. Evans doing the NAACP, being visible here, making the civil rights happen for blacks. But at home, you all had a community home. You had a good family home with him doing a lot of that stuff while you rest.
And again, on the college campus, he would always have his students over, and he would barbecue and fix food for them, seniors. I just finished making probably about 10 pounds of chili for college kids because, we have friends who send their kids to FAMU and different places, and they give in orders. I make the best tea in the world. So my granddaughter Sarita tells me.
I got to taste it.
And I make ground beef and beef chili.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I love to cook.
Oh, really?
But I'm a cookbook cook.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good at it.
I got to come over there and see. So when I come to get those names, Dr. Evans, I'm gonna have to tell you in advance so I can have me a spread out there.
Absolutely.
Thank you so very much for that invitation. And she's not inviting all 65,000 of y'all, just me. All right, so y'all can't come. So okay, so Dr. Evans, I want to hear a lot. I know that one of the most tangible legacies of Dr. Evans' tenure was securing the historic Martin Cleaners building as a permanent home for the Tallahassee NAACP.
Yes.
And it reminds me of Maya Angelou, that 8 for home lives in all of us. What was the energy like in the room during those pivotal moments of the local movement?
Well, first of all, I need to say that we were antiques. In fact, my husband collected coins, and I should have left him alone with the coins. Then he went to antique cars. He had 5 antique cars. And of course, I love antique furniture, those kinds of things. So, history. We've traveled all over the world, seen most things, Vatican, you name it, because of our interest in history and the past. So when it came to the NAACP, our NAACP in North Carolina had an office. We had offices here in Tallahassee, but they were temporary.
Okay.
And he was interested in the NAACP having a home where we could do programs. Mm-hmm. And it was doing the Frenchtown redevelopment. And he thought, gee whiz, if we could get a home or something from Frenchtown, we could keep something, then that's what we did. Now, the Modern Cleaners historically was on the corner of Macomb and I've forgotten the other street, and Bainbridge. It was a long cleaners, and there's now a multi-family housing that sits there now. But Evans' claim to fame was that we raised funds over $500,000 to have that building, which incidentally was the largest cement building ever moved in Florida. We had that moved from there to the location it is now on Brevard Street. Historically, the moving company that moved us was hired to do the Alaska pipeline.
Whoa.
Because of the notoriety that they got in moving that huge cement building. So we now have the historic building, and it's supposed to be the office for the NAACP, a community outreach place, and we're getting there. The first floor is completed and everything. We still need to finish the top floor, which is just as large as the bottom. And the local branch is working on that now, trying to get that completed. We need to put an elevator in because of regulations, etc.
Okay.
But that's a lovely building, and the branch chose to name it after my husband. And the city, I can't say enough about city of Tallahassee that has worked with us, wholeheartedly.
Wow.
And I want to tell you about my claim to fame. My one claim to fame or accomplishment is the establishing of the Martin Luther King holiday activities for the city and Tallahassee and Leon County. I forged that partnership.
Wow.
And as a result of that, the police department, all of the departments work together to have our Martin Luther King activities. That's the state and all of the entities. And it's been beautiful programs.
Yes, it has.
It really brought the community together. So that's my one claim to fame.
Yeah, that might be your one claim to fame, but Dr. Evans, your footprint and your voice is all over this city. You got a lot of claim to fame here. That might be the one you claim, but we appreciate you. And I believe Dr. Evans was able to accomplish as much as he did in leading the NAACP because he did have a strong, smart woman on the end right by his side. And I love your relationship. I mean, I get to hear about it through you and then others, but and then later had us to understand a lot about the NAACP, Dr. Connie Evans, Dr. Charles Evans. So we greatly appreciate what you have done. And that Martin Luther King celebration is wonderful. What was the feeling? Here we are, because I'm feeling it now as you're talking, even about that building, having a physical home for the movement. What was the, how do you think the feeling of the Black community at that time? Here we are getting our own building, getting our place. And I know your husband worked it up good. Y'all raised a lot of money.
He sure did. Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of money.
But he didn't do it alone. He had the city people that just gave donations. Remember now, the NAACP, although we say NAACP, is the National Association for Colored People. That's all colors, black, brown, black, brown, Hispanic. It's for everybody.
Colored people.
And we have that multi race within the NAACP. And
that is true.
So I think the community element is that everybody pitches in to make Tallahassee better. That's from the mayor to the county, city commissioners, as well as John Q. Public and students. We can't forget the students because during that first Martin Luther King ceremony, we had the presidents of each of the universities walking from their particular, except for TCC, walking from their campus up to the Capitol. And it was a beautiful sight to see. So, and it gave people the opportunity to march. So incidentally, I didn't tell you, but my husband and I participated in the first march on Washington in 1963. We went to DC to that. Mm-hmm.
How did that feel?
We really, really did not grasp at the time how important or how monumental that was until afterwards. When we saw ourselves on TV and that kind of thing, then we realized it was a lot of people.
Yes.
It was So yes, it really, but on top of that, we had classes with the NAACP where Martin Luther King and different ones would come to churches on Sunday. So we had the opportunity to be trained by some of the best.
So speaking of the training and coming to the churches, I know at one time, coming from an era with strong singular figures like your husband, do you think this new model is more effective, or does the movement still need that one clear voice?
I think we need all kinds. We need to be inclusive, and it's not going to work if we continue singling out which one. We've got to be able to intermingle. Think about it. In the olden days, when you travel, you had maps, quest maps, and all of that.
Right.
And my husband was good at it. Being a pilot, he could, tell us where we were going when we would get there. Nowadays, you've got your phone, your iPhone.
Right.
All you got to do is tell it where you want to go. It'll tell you how long it's going to take. And if you ask it, it'll tell you what you need to take with you. So who would go back to a map quest when you got that?
Right.
But you got to also put some brain with it too. You got to know what to ask for. So that's what I'm saying. We need the blend. Even though we have technology, etc., you can't beat that one-on-one contact with people.
That's right.
And that's what we're getting through the NAACP and all organizations and churches. They still want that one-on-one contact. Wi-Fi, whatever, it just won't do it. We need that personal contact also.
So we need to learn how do you think we can make that happen? How can we blend it without one segment thinking, no, this is the way, then the other, no, this is the way. How can we blend us together where we could come to that unified display of us really working together? Because we got to work together. And we must. So how can we bring that together, Dr. Evans?
We're going to have to listen to each other. In talking to you, I'm not sitting here anticipating your question. I'm listening. I'm looking to you. I want to see what you're saying. I want to feel what you're feeling. And we've got to do that. And there's no best way. I think we're still looking for the best way to do this. There are several ways, and we've got to be willing to accept the different ways. The example, my husband and I are completely different. I'm a Gemini. He's a Leo. We're completely different, but I was not forced to conform to any one style. And of course, he was all over the place. I meet people now that say, oh, your husband helped me do this, your husband helped me to do that. Oh, he's responsible for our housing, And I accept that because he could multitask. I couldn't multitask like that. Mm-hmm. So you have to blend in, accept each other's good points, and make it work.
And let's talk about how do we, because sometimes, Dr. Evans, I think what you're saying is so important. That we can really sit and listen to each other, and you just said accept each other's point. How can we effectively do that to come to a common ground that will work for the betterment of the people?
One other point on that, you need to know yourself.
Okay.
You need to know when you're in over your head. You need to know when you need to get expert advice, because in the past, women will do it all, men will do. You have someone that can help you out of that stump or whatever you're in. Mm-hmm. So us modern day people, we've got to be willing to seek help when we need it. Okay. That means if you need an accountant or whatever, and we got to be willing to spend some money because folks are not going to work for free.
Yes, ma'am.
And everybody has a giving heart. They want to contribute things. Ask them. You don't know whether they can or can't do it. I mean, people will tell you, I'm always begging for free things for the NAACP, and that's what I do. My husband had the thought, he says, everybody is a member of the NAACP. Some of them just haven't paid their dues. Because we work for everybody, all color, all people, all ages. We work for everybody. So again, if you would keep that in mind, that you need to know when you need help, when you're in over your head, get assistance. That helps you to become a better person, because you can take that information and pass it on to the sister that's having that problem, or to or to your kids.
So what core values from your husband, Errol, are most important for us to preserve, and what are you glad to see our younger generation doing differently?
I'm glad to see our young people fraternizing with each other, with everybody.
Okay.
Family is very important. I'm glad to see that we're still having family reunions and contact, because really, we didn't know our family for several generations, and it's wonderful getting to know Aunt so and so and so, or whomever. To know that you have a village. You've got somebody out there that wants to help you, that wants you to succeed. You just have to seek it.
Yes. So we need that. We need and wow, you're saying so many important things right now, Dr. Evans. You're saying some very good things. So we need to seek the help, but we got to ask. Do you think there's a fear in asking now for help? Even with the NAACP, and I know, and you brought out a good point, because when I first joined the NAACP, I did not know that it was for everybody. I didn't know that we had a lot of white people involved, a lot of other people involved. When I grew up, I just thought it was like Black Power, the NAACP, the Black Panther. I thought they were related until I had to learn the history of how they went together. I understand the importance of it now, and what it stands for, and what it means, and how important it is. But how do we get to ask, even in getting people to join? What do we need to do? Because we need help now.
Well, we're going to have to stop being lazy, stop being content in our own world, because I look at it this way. Somebody has got to marry my granddaughters and my grandsons, and I need to have a part in making sure that their mothers and fathers are preparing them.
Okay.
So again, I think it's everybody's responsibility. Kind of like in the older days, where the lady next door would be your mother when your mother wasn't around. And if you didn't do what you were supposed to do, she'd tell your mama. We have to start communicating with each other. We have to start owning each other.
Wow.
We don't do that. We get into our own little homes. I mean, how many of us live in a neighborhood that you don't even know who your neighbors are? That's unheard of. You at least need to know their names, so that if something is dropped off from the postage, that you will get it because they know who you are. Right. Or do you just come home, go in your garage, and that's where you are? You go out, you don't interact with people.
What is the role of the NAACP, do you think now? And I know I ain't seen you this question, Ms. Dr. Evans, I'm sorry. But what is the role? What do you think our role is now? We got so much going on in the world, but as the NAACP, what do you think our role is, or what we need to do?
We need to help people to understand what's happening around them. The NAACP is multifaceted.
Okay.
There are a lot of areas that we work in: healthcare, finances, economics. I mean, there's so many areas, and you're seeing now needs in those areas. The NAACP can't do it all. But there are businesses and things that are doing things, and we try to put pressure on them to help indigent people, healthcare, etc. Because if people had intended to do it, they'd be doing it, and we wouldn't need the courts to make them do things. We wouldn't need that. In fact, my husband would always say, he can't wait for the NAACP to be to be put out of business. That means people won't have any needs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So again, we got to look at the big picture and figure out, see how we can help not only our family, but our neighbors, etc. Because we're not going anywhere.
Right.
We've all got to live together. And because we know more about each other, what have you. Tell you what my grandkids say. They say, Nana. And they call me Nana. I love it when they call me Nana. I spoil them to death.
Nana.
They say, Nana, if you don't know, just ask Alexis.
Okay.
And I did that when my husband had cancer and we didn't know what was going on. We talked to the doctors. All 4 of my kids came and we all met with everybody. They went home, gave me a document saying what it was, what I was to do, and all of that. I never, ever would have done that.
Okay.
But because of their skills, etc., man, I had the information right there, my report.
And Dr. Evans, you just said something too. Because of their skills, you were able to get the report that you need. How important it is for us to respect each other's skills.
Absolutely. In fact, I cheat all the time. You know, the iPhone is the greatest present for everybody.
Well, Samsung, but go ahead.
But, and I'm only saying iPhone because I want to get rid of it. I still like the flip phone. But my daughter pays for my iPhone.
Oh, yeah. I like
so
it too.
I talk trash about it. You know what she says to me? She says, well, Mom, if you don't like it, you can buy your own. When I saw the price, I zipped my mouth up. I don't say a word. When I need to know something about my iPhone, because these kids are so techie, I use them to death. The 2-year-old broke into my phone. She did. She was playing games.
What?
I didn't even give her my combination. I mean, these kids are smart.
Yes, ma'am.
And I use them. I even call long distance of those, you know, this phone is doing this. What do I do? My grandson got tired of me bugging him. He bought me this book. It says iPhones for Dummies. He gave that to me for Christmas. I got it. It works. Anything that you don't understand, all you got to do is flip it and it walks you right through it. So we need to use these young kids.
I agree. And I believe that even when I'm sitting in our NAACP meetings, I love it. Because we got you, we got Dr. Wilson Bond, Attorney White, Attorney Power, and all the other people. We got some smart people on our board and in our NAACP. We got to get everybody back active. But we got them in there, and listening to you today, I believe that in order for us to do what Dr. Evans saw, as far as put the NAACP out of business, we actually need everybody to come and let's put our minds together so we can get our world is in a bad shape. But we got to get together and respect each other and bring some peace and order. And it sounds like the NAACP can do a lot of help.
The NAACP is needed now more so than ever, especially with the changes in the law and what have you. And people are joining. They need to. We need to make an impact. We're not making an impact individually. We need to join together as groups, etc., to really, really make an impact to get the world the way we want it. We need to have a say. Right now, we're not having a say on a lot of things, and it's disturbing a lot of people.
Yeah. So and you mentioned several times about the church. How important is the church to us bringing the work to the NAACP to the forefront like it once was? Or do you ever think that we would go back to that?
Oh, yes. In fact, I'm working on a project now. We're trying to establish a database of churches, etc. Here And in most places, well, I can say in all places, the NAACP was started religiously. That's why we have a prayer as soon as we start our meeting, blessing it that we're going to have a meeting that's productive for everybody. We have a closing prayer. So the church has always been an equal part of the NAACP.
Okay.
And I can think of my husband having used the church as a conference and everything instead of going to pay at places for renting places. We use the church. People feel safe at the church. You are safe at the church. And most of our ministers are members of the NAACP.
Mm-hmm.
Their congregations. We have NAACP Sundays, wherein we give out information on what we're doing and what's happening.
Yeah, I see Dr. Our new president now, Dr. Marlon Clark Williams, is working to bring, and then you give a lot of advice that I think is helpful to bring our NAACP back to the forefront. I know we're restarting that Sundays, getting the church involved and really making an impact on this city because we have to. So you've seen this city change from the ground up, from being pioneers in the Myers Park neighborhood to seeing a park named in your husband's honor. What is it that you would like to see us now? Because you all was, I guess, some of the first Black in Myers Park, if not the first Black family.
Yeah, there were a lot. In fact, Myers Park was part of the Holton Plantation.
Oh,
So in it being the Holton Plantation, you've got several other developments that are
well, talk about
from
a
the
little bit
Holton.
about the Holton Plantation, because
Well, the most significant thing is that the duck pond, which is what's named after my husband, that's where the slaves used to wash clothes. And when the plantation was broken up, you have an Indian Head, which was a part of Holton Plantation.
that's what I did.
You've got Country Club over there, which is a part of Holton Plantation. You've got Always Cascade Park. All of that was a part of the Holton Plantation. So you have to start with there. That's the history. And the Capital City Country Club, all of that was a part of Holton Plantation. So you need to know your history.
Yes, ma'am.
Read your history. No, we were not the first. And I think we're looking into that. But what's most important is that who's there now.
Okay.
And that they are working, they're looking out for each other, they're living together.
Yes.
That's most important.
Yes.
And we got to get back to it. We got to get back to caring and doing for each other.
Do you think we're
in
on
the
our way back?
neighborhoods? I hope so. You know, I'm very optimistic. But it begins with you. You can't wait for somebody to do it.
Yes, ma'am.
It begins with you. In the morning, I'm in a walking in a dog neighborhood in the morning. I don't let people pass by my house without saying good morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Or, something. And even if I don't know my neighbor's name, I recognize them. We're at Cascade Park, so we have lots of people that come into our neighborhood,
Yes,
which is wonderful. We want them to feel welcome.
We feel welcome at Cascade. We feel welcome at. So in your 79 years, how have you seen the definition of community change in Tallahassee? And y'all, the reason why I'm doing this is because we got all of these people running for offices. We have all of this happening. We got so much happening in our city, but we do have people working to bring some harmony as Dr. Evans is saying, we do have people working to bring some things together. I went to the what you call it, town hall with District 5 last night, and there were some things that people said they wanted to see done that is already being worked on. The city really is doing it. The people just don't know. But what have you seen, Shay? And because people don't know, Dr. Evans, sometimes we think people are not doing things, but they really are. So as you said, I think that number one, we have to get out in the community to make sure things are happening. We have to become a part of these agencies or organizations like the NAACP, and we have to know our history. I'm not from Tallahassee. I'm from Fort Lauderdale. So there's a lot of things I didn't know a lot about Tallahassee. So I'm starting hearing some of these stories. I'm like, oh my God. But what I see, Dr. Evans, because my desire is to see the unity and the peace of this city. And so that's what I see a lot of. But what have you seen, the definition of community change? You're 79, you've been here, y'all been everywhere. What have you seen change, the definition of community change?
Well, that's a big question. I'm going to narrow it down just a little bit.
Okay.
I think that each of us have to do our part. Communication. Okay. You mentioned that. How do you know? I don't know that you don't know. Yes. We've got to do a much better job of selling ourselves, telling people what we're about, okay, what we want, what we need. We're not doing that now. We're letting media and other things dictate that for us. We've got to get back to the basics and what we need to. I mean, everybody wants to feel good about themselves.
That's right.
You want to feel good about your family, your church. You know, we just have to do a better job of promoting ourselves. We stopped and let others do it. We've got to take part.
And I love what you're doing today. I love what you're saying too, Dr. Evans, because it's not like it's not like a blame. It's like take responsibility, or as someone said, I think it could have been Muhammad or whoever, be the change that you want to see. So whatever it is that we want to see happen, you become that. Is that right? You
Yes.
become that.
Yes.
And you make that happen. Because I'm listening to you today, Dr. Evans, and it seems like all of us have individual responsibility.
Absolutely. My motto is that I've never met a stranger.
I believe that.
I mean, even in the grocery store, if you see someone, if you smile, that's acknowledging that they're there. If you smile, that's acknowledging another individual, and you have no idea. You mentioned older people. I am so happy to be a senior citizen. I tell you, not because of my dog, but period. People want to help me out of my car. They want to open the door, and I let them.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, I don't say no. I let them because it makes them feel good.
Yes, ma'am. Wow. You know what I thought? I hadn't thought about that either. That a smile, when you smile at somebody, then let them know that they're being seen. I've never really thought about that. Because I smile all the time.
Well, I can tell you, having lived in the North and in the South, it's a Southern thing. Okay. Southern people will say, hi, how you doing? They'll speak to you.
Yes, ma'am.
In the North, up past the Mason-Dixie line, people are more to themselves. They don't want you to be the friend. They want you to leave them alone. So when I first arrived in Syracuse, people thought I was crazy. First of all, it took me, 10 minutes to get out of whatever garment I had because we was the snow belt. Mm-hmm. And I spoke to everybody. It's like when you're in New York City. You're going up and down the South. You don't speak. You just
keep walking.
But imagine if you speak to someone, makes them feel better.
That's true. Dr. Evans, what would you say to us? And we got a lot of hatred. We got a lot of misunderstanding. We just got a lot of stuff going on. What would you say to us? I want you to talk to the audience for about 2 minutes. And I want you to talk to us You have experienced so much in life. You have overcome some things.
Yeah.
Speak to us from that, like we sitting at your feet, because we are. We're listening to you now. And I know I've asked you something, but I want to hear your heart. Talk to us how to make this work. How do we get through here?
One of the first things we have to do is to know yourself. Um, I read a lot. I read a lot of newspapers. I read a lot of surveys, studies, etc. If you don't, there's somebody in your family that does, that shares the information. Listen and practice self-improvement.
Wow.
Want to do, I mean, you're good, but you can be better.
Yes.
What is it that's going to make you better, feel better?
Wow.
What can you do to make someone else feel better, that they appreciate you? I made chili for a neighbor who lost his mother, because that's what I do. You know, he sent me a bouquet of flowers. I mean, when I got back home and there it was from time, I go, oh my God, he didn't have to do that. But it was the right thing for him to do that made him feel good, and I was off the chain. So do something for someone to make them feel special. Because we've got to live here together. And again, animals, everybody needs somebody to hug, to show affection to, even if, like my one daughter, she says, Mom, you never hug. I go, well, she has fake hugs, so I have to drag her in for a hug. But family, we hug each other when we meet. We hug each other when we leave.
Wow.
Now that's back from slavery days, because you don't know if that's the last time you're going to see that person or not.
Wow.
So that's how I treat people. You know, hey, this may be the last time. I need to say what I need to say.
Ooh.
I need to talk to you. I need to make it right for us to leave each other.
Wow. Dr. Evans, you are absolutely phenomenal. Thank you for teaching us how to win in life. No, you did. You did. As I would say, one of my good friends say, oh, you did that thing. You know, you talked to us today. And that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted you to talk to us. Give us some practical wisdom of how to live in this world, how to live with each other. And as she taught us today, my sisters and brothers, ladies and gentlemen, how Dr. Connie Evans taught us today, it started with us loving others. It started with us treating others as we want to be treated.
And
Smiling.
one other thing I forgot, everybody has something to give. Whether you're willing to give it or not, you've got something to give. Everybody has something that somebody else wants or needs.
Wow.
The challenge is you finding out what it is to help that individual and yourself.
Wow. Hey, she just ended my show, right? Everybody got something to give. You just got to find out what it is that they need and want. And guess what? You'll make the world a better place to live in. As I close, Dr. Connie Evans, thank you so very much for being on my show today. You made this show absolutely great. And I know the people were blessed. I know that you have given us something to think about. I want to thank you so very much. And as I close, I want y'all to remember the words of Coretta Scott King. She said, freedom is never really won. You earn it and win it in every generation. So you got to know that. It is us who will make this world better. You either make it better or bitter. It's totally up to you. Love somebody. Smile at somebody. Dr. Evans says, smiling, you don't have to say a whole lot of words. Just smile. Yeah, get that old mean mug out your face and just go ahead and smile. Again, Dr. Evans, thank you. Listen, again, I'm excited about my husband. Tomorrow, he will be done with his master's in Christian leadership, and I celebrate him so much. I celebrate him working working, doing a church full time, dealing with a whole bunch of stuff. But tomorrow he would graduate. I graduated with a 3.77. He's graduated with a 3.9 something, y'all. Ain't that something? But I like it when he's on top. I like it when he's doing, take it how you want. But anyway, join me tonight for Bible study in the Sanctuary of Life Changers. Our teacher, our very own pastor, Superintendent Gerald Mandrell, will be teaching, and our assistant pastor, Elder Antonio Witherspoon, will be giving his prayer point. I think this is his number 180 something. Y'all, he had taught Bible, he had given prayer point, Dr. Evan, 182. Then y'all join us for Sunday. Oh no, we got stuff before Sunday. Sunday morning service at 11 a.m. We have a guest speaker. We'll have that up to you soon. Our guest speaker is going to be Pastor Prophetess Courtney Fitzhugh. She's our guest speaker for this Sunday. And then Sunday at 6 p.m., we're having our real tea with Dr. Judy. That's truth, empowerment, and affirmation. It's $20. Man, these people are buying these tickets. These women are going to be there. We're honoring 12 women. Really, it's going to be 16. But y'all be there, okay? Go ahead and get your tickets. People are calling. People are doing it. Let's make this thing happen, all right? We are excited. Dr. Evans?
Yes.
You made this show.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
And I am so happy. And I want to say this on the radio. I thank you for the time you call and encourage me and support me. It means so much. I pick up the phone and there it is. They say, Judy, this is Connie Evans. How you doing? Then you support me. I'm so proud of you. Dr. Evans, thank you so very much for being that type of person. And I appreciate it. And I'm sure that I'm not special. You probably do it to everybody. So for all the people whose lives you have touched, I want to say thank you. We celebrate you this Women's History Month because you're an awesome woman. I want to say thank you. Y'all hug somebody. Just hug people. And I do that. I walk up to you and just give you a hug. That's because I want you to know you're valuable. That's real talk.
Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy